Hi everybody, I'm Renee Walls with A Decent Proposal. This is the second video. Last week we spoke about wedding planning from engagement to 9 months before your ceremony. And this week we're talking about questions you should ask your prospective officiant. So let's just get right down to business. This is going to be a 2-video part, only because there's just so much to cover. Okay. The first question you want to make sure and ask is the officiant available for your date? If the officiant's not available for your date, then you'll need to find another officiant. But asking that question right off the bat and getting that out of the way is the first step. Once you've found out that your officiant or the officiant that you're speaking to is available for that date, then you can move on to the rest of the questions. The next one being, can or will the officiant travel to your chosen venue? A lot of officiants will travel within a certain area of where they're at. And they won't go any further than that. And a lot of times there's a travel fee that comes with that. So you want to make sure that the officiant you're calling is willing to travel to your venue. And if not, feel free to ask them if they can refer somebody who would be willing to or is in the area of your venue. Okay? The next thing you want to do is, if you don't have your venue yet, ask your officiant. Ask the officiant that you're speaking to if they have any recommendations for a good venue in the style that you're looking for. And keep in mind, too, that when you are looking for venues, a lot of times some of those venues have officiants on staff, or they can recommend an officiant to you as well. The next question is, does the officiant charge a standard fee, or is the fee a donation? And that is a great question to ask. If you're dealing with your church, your chapel, or whatever, a lot of times they don't charge a base fee. They ask for a donation because you're a member or you're affiliated with that church. If not, and you have chosen to go with an officiant such as myself, someone who isn't affiliated with a church, a brick and mortar church, then you need to find out whether or not they charge a base fee or they take donations. The next question, how long has the officiant been performing weddings? That is an interesting question. That can go 2 ways. One, if an officiant has only been doing ceremonies for a year or say 2 years, that does not determine their experience or their skill. So the more appropriate question might be, how many wedding ceremonies have you performed? Because in a time span of 1 year, an officiant can perform 3 ceremonies if they just do it on the side, or they can have performed 100 to 150 ceremonies. It all depends on the officiant, and that determines their experience in how many ceremonies they have performed. Next question would be, does the officiant have sample wording or sample ceremonies to show you? We always offer sample ceremonies to our couples so that they can see the layout of how a ceremony would look for them on their day. Now remember, what we show you is just an example. It's not what is going to be performed at your ceremony. It's an example. Now, some officiants do what we call cookie cutter ceremonies, where all the ceremonies are the same and they just change your guys' names. Here at A Decent Proposal, we don't do that. We write each ceremony to reflect your style and your personalities. And so each ceremony is different. The samples that we show you would just be an outline, if you will, of the order in which the ceremony would happen. And those as well are customizable. So make sure you find out if they have sample wording, okay? The next question I would ask is, will the officiant let you specify ceremony details? If you want a song played during your sand ceremony or your unity candle lighting, will your officiant allow you to do that? Will they allow you to use your own vows versus their vows? Will they allow you to insert a special poem or a scripture or maybe a reading? Maybe something that a loved one had said before their passing and they couldn't be there, and you want that included. You know, can you customize your ceremony? And that's a big one. The next question is the officiant available for a ceremony rehearsal? Now, whether or not you want a rehearsal is up to you. Please note that not every rehearsal needs an officiant and not every wedding needs a rehearsal. But if you choose to have a rehearsal, ask the officiant if they do rehearsals, and if they do, and you are planning to have your rehearsal at your venue, make sure that there's no travel fee, and if there is, how much that travel fee is for the reception. The rehearsal. All right. Does the officiant make you comfortable? That's kind of a self-question. If you feel comfortable talking to the officiant and everything seems to be going good, then this might be the officiant for you. But if you're feeling a little off, or maybe the person seems a bit pushy to you, or you're just not comfortable with them, you might want to shop around a little bit longer, okay? Will the officiant attend your reception or rehearsal dinner? That's up to you as to whether or not you want them there. If you don't plan on having your officiant at either of those events, then you probably don't need to ask that question. It is completely up to you. The next question: how long do your ceremonies usually last? And this will be the last question for this segment. Ceremonies can vary in length. And so depending on how long you want you and your wedding party to be standing up there is up to you. And so going over the length of your ceremony with your officiant is important. So make sure you talk to them about that. That will conclude this set of questions. We're going to move on to the next set of questions on the next video. So thanks for watching, and tune into the next video.